Hello, happy Valentine's Day, and welcome to our webinar, In the Mood to Swoon? I'm Donna Seaman, Editor-in-Chief and Adult Books Editor at Booklist. Before we begin this fun program, I'd like to go over some technical details. Today's slide presentation and title list were included in the reminder email you received from Zoom an hour ago. To download them, please open that email, scroll to the bottom, and click on the links. You can also download the slides and title lists by typing the URLs on this screen into your web browser. If you have any trouble, please contact us at webinars@booklistonline.com. The audience is in listen-only mode, but we welcome your questions. On the bottom of your screen is a toolbar with a section for Q&A. If you have a question or if you need technical assistance, simply click Q&A and type your message into the box. We will do our best to respond to all tech-related questions, and we will pass along all other questions to today's panelists so they can follow up with you after the webinar. Booklist offers closed captions on all our webinars. To enable or disable them on your screen, please look for and click the Show Captions icon on the toolbar. If you choose to enable subtitles, you can adjust the size of them at any time by selecting Caption Settings. And finally, Booklist expects all participants to maintain an atmosphere of respect and fairness. Anyone who violates the standard of behavior, including engaging in any form of harassment, may, at the discretion of the organizers, be immediately removed. So, how about this lineup? Today we have the pleasure of hearing from Dina Sherman, School and Library Marketing Director at Disney Publishing, Michaela Bender, Marketing and Publishing Assistant at Alcove Press, Deanna McFadden, VP at IP Publishing Strategy at Wattpad WEBTOON Book Group, Vita Ekstrand, Director of Communications at Kensington Publishing, Larissa Ackerman, Associate Director of Indie Bookstores and Library Marketing at Kensington Publishing, Jane Nutter, Senior Communications Manager at Kensington Publishing, and Kelly Coyle-Crivelli, Library Marketing Director on the Penguin Random House Library Marketing Team. And we will begin with a brief message from Kelly. Thanks for being here, Kelly.
Hello, everybody. Oh, am I good? I think so. Sorry. Hello, sorry. Donna, thank you. It's always wonderful when you're involved in anything. And happy Valentine's Day to everybody that joined us today. We wanted to do a romance buzz with some of our wonderful independent publishers that are our publishers that we work with in our client team. So these are some of the client publishers that we represent at Penguin Random House, and we wanted to do a romance buzz because we know romance is big and fun, and honestly, you can't get enough titles in the romance department, and we know that. So we know your patrons are always looking for more, and we wanted you to hear from some of our client publishers today. So when we were looking for a date and Valentine's Day was open, we thought, what better way to spend Valentine's Day than learning about new romance books? So we thank all of our client publishers for being here today. We thank Booklist for putting this together, and we hope you have a great time of book research and reader's advisory and all fun books for you to share with your patrons. You could turn to the next slide. I just wanted to tell you about a couple things. So we do work with these wonderful client publishers, but then you also know we have a bunch of our own in-house imprints that have wonderful romance titles on our list. And we wanted to let you know that on our website now, which has been updated this year, we have this great new website, penguinrandomhouselibrary.com. We have romance novels from all seasons, and our new romance 2025 spring catalog is up there. So we invite you to look at those titles as well. Next slide. And we also would love for you to participate and enter our Fall in Love with Romance Reads novel raffle, sorry. And if you see the tiny URL there, and you can also share that with your patrons as well. It's a really fun raffle to win some of our fun new romance titles and some swag. And so you can always call us or email us with any comments or questions. We're at library@penguinrandomhouse.com. And now I will turn it over to some of our wonderful client publishers who I am lucky enough to work with. I hope you enjoyed this time, and I wish all of you a very happy Valentine's Day, and I thank you all for joining us today. Thanks.
Thank you, Kelly. Always a pleasure to work with you, especially on this special day. And now we'll begin our title presentations, as Kelly explained. First up is Dina Sherman. Dina has been the School and Library Marketing Director at Disney Publishing since 2009. Prior to that, she was School and Library Senior Marketing Manager at HarperCollins Children's Book. Dina received her MLS from the University of Pittsburgh and worked as a children's librarian for 10 years, first at the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh and then at the Brooklyn Children's Museum. As a librarian, Dina wrote reviews for School Library Journal and wrote articles and presented on the topic of museum and library collaborations. Welcome, Dina.
Thank you, Donna. I'm so happy to be here. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I'm thrilled to share some great romantic reads with you. They're a little more adult than the pictures I had on that slide. Starting off, nothing says love like the Disney princesses. Our best-selling Meant to Be series takes classic Disney stories and reimagines them as modern-day rom-coms. These are all standalone stories, so they can be read in any order, and we publish them simultaneously in hardcover and paperback. We launched with If the Shoe Fits by Julie Murphy, which was a Library Reads top pick, so thank you, and is still one of my favorites in the collection. With a shiny new design degree but no job in sight, Cindy moves back in with her stepmother, Erica Tremaine, the executive producer of the world's biggest dating reality show, Before Midnight. When a contestant bows out at the last minute, Cindy is thrust into the spotlight. Now, showcasing her killer shoe collection on network TV seems like a great way to jumpstart her career, but being the first and only fat contestant on Before Midnight turns her into a viral sensation and a body positivity icon overnight. Even harder to believe, she can actually see herself falling for this Prince Charming. To make it into the end, despite the fans, the haters, and a house full of fellow contestants she's not sure she can trust, Cindy will have to take a leap of faith and hope her heels and her heart don't break in the process. Next up is By the Book by Jasmine Guillory. When Isabel first began her career, she didn't expect to be 25, still living at home, and one of the few Black employees at her publishing house. Overworked and underpaid, constantly torn between speaking up or stifling herself, Izzy thinks there must be more to this publishing life. So when she overhears her boss complaining about a beastly, high-profile author who has failed to deliver his long-awaited manuscript, Izzy sees an opportunity to finally get the promotion she deserves. But Bo Towers is not some celebrity lightweight writing a tell-all memoir. He's jaded and withdrawn, and it turns out just as lost as Izzy. They soon discover they have more in common than either of them expected, and as their deadline nears, Izzy and Bo begin to realize there may be something there that wasn't there before. Our third book in the collection is Kiss the Girl by Zoraida Cordova. Ariel Del Mar is one of the most famous singers in the world. She and her sisters, together known as the band Siren 7, have been a pop culture phenomenon since they were kids. On stage, wearing her iconic red wig and sequined costume, staring out at a sea of fans is where she shines. Anyone would think she's the girl who has everything. But lately, she wants more. Siren 7 is wrapping up their farewell tour, and Ariel can't wait to spend the summer just living a normal life. But her father has other plans. Begin her breakout solo career immediately, starting with a splashy announcement on a morning talk show. The night before, Ariel and her sisters sneak out for a night of incognito fun, where Ariel crosses paths with Eric Reyes, dreamy lead singer of an up-and-coming band. Unaware of her true identity, Eric spontaneously invites her on the road for the summer. And for the first time in her life, Ariel disobeys her father and goes with him. Caught between the world she longs for and the one she's left behind, can Ariel follow her dreams, fall in love, and somehow find her own voice? We were thrilled when the amazing author duo Christina Lauren signed on to write our fourth novel, Tangled Up in You. Wren was raised on a homestead and off the grid for most of her 22 years. So when she finally achieves her lifelong dream of attending Corona College, it feels like her life is finally beginning. Fitz has the rest of his life mapped out. Graduate from Corona at the top of his class, get his criminal record wiped clean, and pass himself off as the rich, handsome player everyone thinks he is. But a simple assignment in their immunology seminar changes the course of both their lives, and suddenly they're thrown out of the frying pan and into the fire on a road trip that will lead them in the most unexpected directions. Out on the open road, the unlikely pair realize that maybe the key to the dreams they've both been chasing have been sitting next to them the whole time. And this brings us to the newest book coming this summer, Worth Fighting For by Jessie Q. Sutanto. As the right hand of her father's private equity company, Fa Mulan knows what it takes to succeed as a woman in a man's world. So when her father unexpectedly falls ill in the middle of a critical acquisition, she is determined to see it through. There's just one hitch. The family company in question is known for its ultra-masculine whiskey brand and the brood of old-fashioned aunts, uncles, cousins who run it, led by the dedicated but overworked Shang, will only trust Mulan's father, Fa Zhu, with the future of their business. Rather than fail the deal on her father, Mulan pretends she's Fa Zhu. Since they've only corresponded over email, how hard could it be to keep things moving in his absence? But the email leads to a face-to-face meeting, which leads to an invitation to a week-long retreat at Shang's family ranch. One meeting she can handle, but a whole week of cattle wrangling, axe throwing, and learning proper butchering techniques, all while trying to convince the family that she is the powerful CEO they've been negotiating with? Not so much, especially as she finds it harder and harder to ignore the undeniable spark between her and Shang. Can she keep her head in the game and make her father proud, all while trying not to fall into a trough or in love with Shang? And all of our meant-to-be titles have book club kits available. They've got great discussion questions, fun snack and cocktail ideas, book recommendations, and more. And there will be one for Worth Fighting For as well. And now I'm going to move on to some great crossover titles that I think adults will love. Finding Famous by Candice Jalili is the Princess Diaries meets reality television. After her mom dies, Josie discovers that her biological father is the recently deceased Ali Mashhad, patriarch of America's original TV family, dripping with wealth, fame, and Vogue magazine covers. Josie's particular life is gone quicker than you can say, "You're doing amazing, sweetie." Being a Mashhad means that the entire world is now at Josie's feet, desperate to dress her, photograph her, to know her, opening a door to a world that she never expected to find. One with a cute guy who just might be her soulmate, 3 ridiculous but wonderful sisters, and answers to all of the questions she wishes she could ask her mom. But if being a Mashhad is the chance of a lifetime, will Josie be brave enough to take it? Seeing Stars is a spin-off story focusing on Josie's sister Mona. After more than a decade on screen, Mona knows how to be the most famous teenager on the planet. But she didn't expect to meet Lucas Haas, notorious heartthrob and only son of the beloved President of the United States. It hurts a lot when he betrays her, and even more when their moms demand they pretend to keep dating to appease their respective fan bases. Things get extra complicated when she meets Kai, a hot surfer and all-around normal guy. Could he be the escape from this fake reality that she needs, or will fake dating America's most eligible bachelor lead to real feelings? A star reading Kirkus for Divine Mortals, the first in this romantasy duology by debut author Amanda M. Helander, says, fans of Rebecca Yarros and Sarah J. Maas need look no further for their next big read. And I couldn't agree more. I could not put these books down. Blessed by the gods, Mona Arnett has the unique ability to divine soulmates, though she refuses to seek out her own. When it seems the king is dying without an heir, threatening the royal line and the world's access to magic, Mona is tasked with naming his future queen, which turns out to be her. A royal match is the last thing she wants, especially when she starts falling for the king's closest advisor. So she lies, cheats, and contends with scheming gods to hide the truth. But when this high-stake Game of Thrones leads to murder, survival, and the fate of the kingdom will depend on her finding the courage to face her destiny. And then in Wayward Gods, Mona has delayed the prophesied end of the world, but she hasn't stopped it. The gods have turned their backs, the castle is besieged by demons, and Mona is the only one who can seek help. To save all she's come to love, Mona may have to become even more powerful than the gods. Wings of Starlight by best-selling author Allison Saft went on sale last week and instantly hit #1 on the New York Times YA bestseller list. It's been centuries since a warm season fairy in Pixie Hollow has crossed into the winter woods. But when reports of a monster crossing from winter into spring make their way to the palace, Clarion, soon to be queen, sees defeating this threat as an opportunity to prove that she is worthy of her new role. But instead of finding a monster, she finds Mallory, a guardian of the winter woods. As their alliance warms to something more, they will discover there's a reason a warm season fairy and a winter fairy must not be together, and the cost could be just as deadly as the monsters that prowl the winter woods. Maya in Multicolor by Swati Turdala is a charming slow burn romance. After her freshman romance refuses to put a label on their relationship, Maya decides to reclaim her life and completely turn around her college experience. Enter Nishant Rai, an upperclassman, notorious playboy, and well-connected DJ. As the two grow closer, Maya realizes Nishant is so much more than a pretty face. Is he just wasting her time, or has she finally found her meet cute? And lastly, if you need a last-minute Valentine's Day gift for a Star Wars fan you love, I had to include this one. What could be better than Someone Who Loves You by Beth Revis? With romantic and painterly illustrations, this is a sweet, relatable, and at times humorous story about two people who most of us, I think all of us, know and love, who found family in each other. That's it for me. Thank you so much for taking the time with us today. Most of our upcoming titles are available on NetGalley and Edelweiss, but of course, feel free to reach out to me. My email address is there if you need anything else. Thanks so much and happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you, Dina. All right, our next presentation will come from Michaela Bender. Marketing assistant Michaela graduated with a BA in editing, writing, and media, and a minor in communications from Florida State University. Before she came to Crooked Lane Books, she worked with literary agencies and attended NYU Summer Publishing Institute and the Columbia Publishing Course. Welcome, Michaela.
Hi, everyone. I am Michaela, and I'm the Marketing and Publicity Assistant at Alcove Press. I'm so excited to be here with you today. We launched Alcove in 2020 to publish book club fiction ranging from historical to rom-coms and everything in between. I'm really excited to tell you about some of our titles today. We have a romance for every mood this Valentine's Day, so let's get into it. Next slide, please. Up first, we have Katie Holt's Not in My Book, a December 2024 Indie Next Pick and a Library Reads top pick for December. If you're a fan of Allie Hazelwood and of Taylor Swift, then this is the enemies to lovers forced proximity romance for you. Peruvian American Rosie chases her dreams to NYC, only to clash with her arrogant ex-crush Aiden in writing class. Forced to co-write a romance, sparks fly and the line between fiction and reality blurs. But will competition tear their story apart before they can write their own happy ending? Christina Lauren called this an absorbing, hilarious love letter to romance fans everywhere. Next slide, please. Annabelle Paulson's and Lydia Wang's Here for the Wrong Reasons is the perfect romance whether you love The Bachelor or hate it. Two dating show contestants vying for the affection of the leading man fall head over heels for each other. Neither woman expects a heteronormative dating show to challenge their own deeply ingrained ideas of who they are and what they want, but love is about to prove them both wrong. This steamy, laugh-out-loud rom-com is perfect for fans of The Charm Offensive and Delilah Green Doesn't Care. This is truly Good Luck Babe in book form. Next slide, please. So as a cozy gamer myself, I am so excited to share with you Single Player by Tara Tai. Kat Lee cares about two things: video games and swoony romances. The former means there hasn't been much of the latter in her real life, but when she lands her dream job writing the storylines for the next big thing in games, she knows it's all been worth it. Then she meets her boss, the infamous Andy Zhang, who's not only an arrogant hater of happily ever afters, determined to keep Kat from doing her job, but also impossibly, annoyingly hot. This queer enemies to lovers workplace romance received a starred review from Library Journal and has received shout-outs from People Magazine, Book Riot, and Oprah Daily. It's available now and perfect for fans of TJ Alexander and Helen Hoang. Next slide, please. Coming in March, we have Fake It Like You Mean It by Megan Murphy. When Elle's grandmother, Lovey's Alzheimer's, begins progressing quickly, Elle returns home to help care for her. So the last thing she expects when she walks through the door of her childhood home is Adam Wheeler in her bed. Live-in nurse and all-around pain, Adam is here to do his job. Eat, sleep, nurse, repeat. But in her Alzheimer's riddled mind, Lovey's convinced that Elle and Adam are madly in love. Certain she'll forget by morning, Elle and Adam play along. The only snag? She doesn't forget. Fake It Like You Mean It has the perfect blend of romance, laugh-out-loud comedy, and heartbreakingly beautiful moments. USA Today bestselling author Melanie Sweeney calls it transformative, cathartic, and ultimately deeply comforting. Next slide, please. Up-and-coming TV director Callie Daniels knows sex. Well, okay, she knows how to shoot sex scenes, and she's been hired to direct a highly anticipated steamy episode of the popular series The Demon. This job is her chance at a big-time career in the film and television industry. If only the director of photography, effortlessly sexy Jory Blair, would stop shutting her ideas down at every turn. Jory has spent years cultivating his career as an A-list director. Now, this creative newbie, who he can't get out of his mind, wants to change the look of his show. Even worse, the friction between them is sparking into blistering chemistry. Fans of How to Fake It in Hollywood will devour the steamy enemies to lovers workplace debut romance. Love Camera Action comes out April 22nd. Next slide, please. Outlander meets The Gilded Age in an enemies to lovers historical romantasy with echoes of Irish mythology. It's Manhattan 1870. Rua has no memories of who she is or where she came from. When she's mistaken as the missing daughter of a powerful family, she's thrust into a world of high society intrigue and dark magic. There she is drawn to Finn, the Lord of Donor, a newcomer to Manhattan society and a strictly off-limits man. As ancient secrets and dark magic unfurl in her memory, Rua and Finn must work together despite their differences to uncover the mystery of their past and try to save their future in this gritty and glittering historical romantasy. USA Today bestselling author Sydney Shields called it a beguiling jewel of a novel. Kelsey is a viral TikTok hit, and her audience has followed her publication journey from its early days and are eagerly awaiting The Gods Time Forgot. Next slide, please. Next up, we have the highly anticipated second novel from Blair Fell, the award-winning author of the critically acclaimed The Sign for Home. Armistead Maupin meets Casey McQuiston with a hint of T.J. Klune in Disco Witches of Fire Island, a found family novel that perfectly balances gay romance with a dash of fantasy. When Joe and his best friend set out to spend their summer in the hedonistic gay paradise of Fire Island, Joe is desperate to let loose after the heartbreak of losing his boyfriend to the HIV/AIDS epidemic. The two friends are quickly taken in by a pair of colorful characters who are members of a secret disco witch coven tasked with protecting the island. Unaware of all the mystical shenanigans, Joe starts to fall for a super cute bisexual ferryman, but Joe's longing to find fun and love is tripped up by his troublesome past and the lure of a mysterious hunk who just may be the harbinger of doom. Disco Witches of Fire Island comes out in May, and it's not only a fun, steamy story, but also one of hope and love. A star review from PW called this one an impressively drawn romance with immense heart and beauty. Next slide, please. From internationally best-selling author, we have Sing Me Home to Carolina, a witty and effervescent novel that is perfect for fans of Yellow Shipman and fans of Sweet Magnolias. Event planner Hattie Norwood only came back to Mountain View to support her parents after they received word that the family farm is infertile. But when the town councilwoman begs her to use her event planning skills to help the town put on a musical benefit to stop the construction of a new stadium, she finds herself agreeing to stay a while longer, just as her old flame materializes in town. But when the captivating new owner of the hardware store suggests using her family's barn in an attempt to reinvent the farm as an event venue, Hattie agrees, unaware this move will thrust the town, her love life, and the tension over the stadium into the spotlight. Coming in June, Sing Me Home to Carolina is filled to the brim with small town charm, a quirky cast of characters, and a compelling love triangle that will put this on everyone's summer must-read lists. Next slide, please. Two talented writers, Wes and Mo, compete to write the modern adaptation of their favorite classic feminist novel. But when they're both invited to visit the elderly daughter of the original novelist to present their versions, sparks begin to fly. But as they wait for the estate's decision, will the secret Wes is hiding shatter their tentative bond and keep them from their own happily ever after? Elise Whalen's Rivals to Lovers is perfect for fans of Emily Henry and Allie Hazelwood. The steamy bookish novel coming in August is sure to have readers flying through its pages. Next slide, please. Coming out in August from debut author Ova Sarin, we have The Book of Heartbreak, a magically romantic and a delightfully witty crossover novel for adult and YA readers alike. Surrey Silverbirch has already had her heart broken 4 times. A 5th heartbreak will stop her heart forever, literally. Now with her time running out, Surrey is desperate to find a way to break the curse. Her questions lead her to Istanbul, where she meets a mysterious and alluring seer who helps her track down the mysteries of her mother's past. But Surrey's heart is a fragile thing, and the blossoming romance could be the very thing to cause her demise. This is a retelling of the Maiden's Tower, a Byzantine tower perched on an islet just off the coast of Istanbul, Turkey. Ova has huge platforms on TikTok and Instagram, and her followers are eagerly lining up for this one. Next slide, please. And that wraps it up for us today. Thank you so much for taking the time to hear about our romance books for Valentine's Day. If you have any questions, comments, or requests for advance copies, feel free to send us an email. And if you want to stay up to date on all of our new and upcoming titles, you can sign up for our newsletter at alcovepress.com. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. We look forward to hearing from you, and happy reading, everyone, and happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you so much, Michaela. We continue the Valentine's Day book party with Deanna McFadden. Deanna is the VP for IP Publishing Strategy at Wattpad WEBTOON Book Group, where she manages a diverse publishing program of novels and graphic novels. Over the course of her 20-plus year career, she's worked in a number of roles at many publishing houses in Canada. In her spare time, she hangs out in rinks with her husband and hockey-obsessed son. Welcome, Deanna.
Thank you so much for having me. Hi, everyone. I'm excited to share some of our standout romance titles with you today, especially on Valentine's Day. What better occasion to talk about love stories that make hearts race, bring butterflies to our stomachs, remind us why romance is one of the most beloved genres out there. So whether you're a fan of swoon-worthy meet-cutes, slow burn chemistry, or fiery enemies to lovers tension, I hope we've got something that'll spark your interest. Fingers crossed, I've got a little bit of Cupid's luck on my side, as presenting makes me nervous. Let's kickstart today with one of our standout titles. Next slide, please. The Trial Period. This heartwarming enemies to lovers sapphic romance comes from debut author Auburn Morrow and was just released on February 4th. It's already making waves, with School Library Journal calling it a sweetly written romance, a sentiment we wholeheartedly agree with. The story follows Ashley Marie Parker and Lizzie Hernandez, two girls who cannot stand one another. Their constant bickering finally pushes their mutual best friend to issue a bold challenge. Try dating for 30 days to learn how to get along. What starts as a reluctant agreement soon takes an unexpected turn as Parker and Lizzie's fake dates begin to feel very real. But while sparks fly between them, other parts of their lives start to fall apart, forcing them to ask themselves, is their connection strong enough to last beyond the trial period? And can love really grow in just 30 days? Originally a hit on our Wattpad platform, The Trial Period is perfect for YA readers looking for a fresh, heartfelt romance. Rated for teens 14 plus, this book is a must-read for fans of Imogen, obviously by Becky Albertini, and Ryan and Avery by David Levithan. We can't wait for readers to fall for Parker and Lily as much as we have. Next slide, please. Next up is another fantastic YA title, this time from our graphic novel imprint, WEBTOON Unscrolled. I'm so excited to introduce The Kiss Bet, a personal favorite of mine and a heartwarming and hilarious coming-of-age comic that will delight fans of To All the Boys I've Loved Before and Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell. Meet Sarah Lynn, an 18-year-old navigating her senior year with great friends, a well-meaning, if not slightly embarrassing dad, and big dreams for the future. The one thing she hasn't figured out yet, her first kiss. While she's never been in a rush, everything changes when her best friend Patrick proposes a bet, and one that just might lead to love, heartbreak, or a whole lot of awkwardness, perhaps maybe all three. Kirk has called The Kiss Bet sweet and engaging, and we couldn't agree more. This charming graphic novel blends adorable romantic comedy with themes of self-discovery, friendship, and the ups and downs of growing up. With its vibrant, playful art style and witty storytelling, it's no surprise this webtoon sensation has already amassed over 160 million with an M reads and nearly 2 million subscribers. We're bringing this fan favorite from screen to page, and we can't wait for readers to get their hands on the print edition when The Kiss Bet hits shelves on February 25th. Next slide, please. Now, oh, I didn't realize we had some art. Here's some interiors from the inside of The Kiss Bet. Oh, it's so cute. Next slide, please. Now let's dive into some of our incredible adult romance titles. First up, let's fly away with Love at First Flight by Jo Watson, a heartfelt and refreshingly unique take on the fake dating trope set against the world of aviation. Pippa Edwards is one of the best air traffic controllers in South Africa. Pilots trust her to guide them through even the toughest situations, but when it comes to navigating personal relationship, Pippa really struggles. Understanding social cues and connecting with others doesn't come as easily as reading a flight path. Enter Andrew Boyce Jones, a charming and talented pilot Pippa has spoken to over the intercom for months but never met in person until now. When they finally come face to face, they realize they have more in common than just their jobs. They're both single and both tired of dealing with nosy family and friends questioning their love lives. The solution, obviously, a fake dating pact. It's perfect, no pressure, no complications, and no real feelings will be involved. Or at least that's what they tell themselves. But as their connection deepens, Pippa starts to wonder if Andrew might be the one person who truly sees her for who she is. And if so, is she ready to take a leap of faith? Jo Watson is an internationally best-selling author with over 600,000 books sold worldwide in both her native South Africa and the UK. We're excited to bring Love at First Flight to US readers, especially because this story is deeply personal to Jo. Drawing from her own experience as a neurodivergent woman, she has crafted a romance that's not only swoon-worthy and funny, but also an authentic, emotional exploration of love, identity, and self-acceptance. With its perfect blend of humor, heart, and heartfelt representation, Love at First Flight lands on shelves March 18th, just in time for Neurodiversity Celebration Week, which is March 17th to the 23rd. We can't wait for readers to fall for this beautifully unique love story. Next slide, please. Next up, I am excited to introduce Loving Ben Cooper by USA Today bestselling author Cece Munro. This is a romance that crackles with chemistry, deep emotion, and the undeniable pull of opposites attracting. This book is a true page-turner, capturing the intensity of love, the struggle of personal growth, and the magic of finding connection where you least expect it. When nurse in training Sadie crosses paths with rock star Ben Cooper, she knows he's the kind of trouble he should avoid. He's reckless, intense, and lives far removed from the structured world she's carefully built for herself. Meanwhile, Ben sees through her good girl act and knows she's not as immune to his charms as she pretends to be. Their push-pull dynamic is electric, forcing them both to confront their preconceived notions about each other and themselves. At its core, Loving Ben Cooper is a story about self-discovery and vulnerability. Ben has demons he needs to confront before he can truly let someone in, and Sadie must challenge her expectations of what love should look like in order to recognize the real thing when it's right in front of her. As tensions rise and emotions run deep, they'll have to decide whether they're willing to take a chance on love, even if it means stepping outside their comfort zones. For readers who love the idea of you or swoon over bad boy romances, Loving Ben Cooper is a perfect pick. With its compelling characters, heartfelt storytelling, and emotional depth, Cece Munro delivers a romance that lingers long after the final page. And this book is spicy with a capital S. Next slide, please. Since 2020, Wattpad has seen a surge in dark romance titles ranging from the classic bad boy love stories to high-stakes narratives featuring arranged marriages between rival families, better known as mafia romance. These stories blend action, danger, and strong-willed protagonists with a sizzling enemies to lovers dynamic. Now, these heightened, adrenaline-fueled storylines are hitting mainstream, and Nicole Knight is leading the charge. With nearly 18 million reads on the platform, she's one of Wattpad's biggest dark romance authors, and we're thrilled to introduce her brand new book, Ties That Bind Us. Ava Moretti and Nick Campanelli's connection is instant and intense, and when they meet by chance, two strangers are drawn together for a night of passion. What they don't realize is that they belong to rival crime families and are sworn enemies in this dangerous underworld. When fate forces them back into each other's lives, Ava is faced with an impossible choice: follow her heart or meet her family's expectations. Can she transform from mafia princess to mafia wife? And when love and loyalty collide, which will win? The Ties That Bind Us taps into the ever-growing demand for dark, gripping romance, a trend that has long dominated movies and television, now making waves in the book world. With its intoxicating blend of forbidden romance, high-stakes drama, and strong female leads, this book is perfect for fans of Anna Huang and readers who crave stories packed with tension, passion, and danger. Next slide, please. And now onto our final romance of the presentation, one that's already making so many waves. The sizzling debut from E.M. Wilson has amassed over 2 million reads on Wattpad, proving there's a built-in audience eagerly awaiting its release. Featuring a diverse cast and a sex-positive female protagonist, this book embodies the inclusivity and bold storytelling that today's readers crave. And let's not forget, it's tagged as mature, meaning it delivers on the spice. Very, very much so. At the heart of this novel is Tegan, a woman who has her life all mapped out: law school, a polished image, and zero room for failure. But when her parent-approved boyfriend proves to be more disappointing than desirable, she ditches him just in time for a summer full of weddings and high society events. Enter Heath, Smart, sexy, and absolutely not boyfriend material, he's the ideal no strings attached +1. They strike a deal, a contract to keep things strictly casual. But as their arrangement blurs the line between convenience and something deeper, Tegan and Heath may find themselves tangled in something neither of them saw coming. M. Wilson is an author on the rise, and we're confident she's poised to become one of the biggest names in spicy new adult romance, right up there with Allie Hazelwood and Hannah Grace. And the best part, readers won't have to wait long for more. Her next novel, Breakup for Two, is already scheduled for a spring 2026 release. And that brings to the end of our presentation for Wattpad WEBTOON Book Group. Thank you all so much for your time and for letting me share these incredible romance titles with you. Some of them are my favorites, and we're wishing you all a very wonderful Valentine's Day. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Deanna. All right, for our final Valentine's presentation, we will hear from the Kensington Publishing team. Vita Ekstrand is the Director of Communications at Kensington, where she has been since 2011. She oversees the marketing and publicity for Kensington's diverse list of titles and imprints, in addition to directly handling the campaigns for historical fiction and select key authors. Vita has been lucky to have launched the careers of numerous best-selling acclaimed authors, many of whom she continues to work with today, including Ellen Marie Wiseman, Donna Everhart, Charlie Don Lee, Amanda Skendador, and more. On to Larissa Ackerman. She's Associate Director of Indie Bookstore and Library Marketing. Larissa has been at Kensington since 2018. Prior to her current role, she oversaw marketing, publicity, and branding for the Kensington Cozies imprint as Senior Communications Manager for Mysteries, and managing the Kensington Cozy Cons, as well as running campaigns for such authors as Joanne Fluke, Carleen O'Connor, and Colleen Cambridge. And Jane Nutter is Senior Communications Manager at Kensington Publishing. Her love of romance novels inspired her to pursue a career in publishing. And since 2013, she has had the distinct pleasure of managing creative campaigns for Kensington's top-notch romance titles and authors. Thank you three for being here. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. This is Vita Engstrand. And when Kensington was founded 51 years ago, it was as exclusively as a romance publisher. And over the decades, our list has evolved quite a bit to include all genres, from book club fiction to cozy mysteries and best-selling nonfiction. But romance will always and forever be an essential part of our DNA. So we love being here on days like this, especially days like this, to eat candy and to celebrate the romance genre with you. Before we start talking about some of our favorite romances coming up, we wanted to share on the next slide some information about how you can reach us and learn more about all we have to offer.
Hi, I'm Larissa. I'm the new Associate Director of Library and Indie Bookstore Marketing at Kensington, and therefore your primary contact for anything related to Kensington. I know some of you know me from the Kensington Cozies program, and you could still definitely contact me about all things cozies, and I will ramble for hours.
Cozy Queen.
Cozy Queen. So we love making sure librarians get access to advanced copies of any titles they want. So if you want to be whitelisted on NetGalley or Edelweiss, please email me. We also produce physical ARCs of all new releases, so you could email me with literally any requests that you have. Our authors love doing events, both in person and virtual. So if any libraries or book clubs, bookstores, or anyone else would like to plan an author visit, you can just, again, email me and I will connect you with the book's campaign manager. And lastly, we have 2 newsletters dedicated to the trades. Librarians should sign up for Branching Out, and booksellers should sign up for Book Scoop. Both are a great way to find out about upcoming releases, special offers, available ARCs, and so on and so forth. So the links are in the PowerPoint, but again, feel free to reach out and I'll send you the link to sign up. So thanks so much, and I will let Jane take it away.
Hi, everyone. Okay, next slide. Yes, thank you. Big fix. Okay, hi, I'm Jane. I'm all things romance here at Kensington. We've got some amazing titles for you today. Everything from like hot hockey players to demons. And I apologize for my backlight. I kind of look like I'm in witness protection a little bit, but On a different note, you'll see on the slides, so I don't repeat myself over and over again, some of them have QR codes, and the QR codes you can scan and take, it will take you to NetGalley, where you can download an EARC to read the book for the titles that are currently listed on NetGalley. You can also see the library reads deadlines on the slides as well. So let's dig right in. Up first, we have The Big Fix by Holly James. This is a delicious hardcover standalone romantic caper of a book. Think The Bodyguard by Catherine Center meets the Fall Guy movie with Ryan Gosling. A college professor gets caught up in a web with a mafia fixer when a big misunderstanding basically puts them on the run from some powerful people. There are mistaken identities, there's only one bed, there's grumpy sunshine. It's an action adventure romance, which is a genre that there really isn't a lot of. So it was very exciting to me when we got this book on our list. Obviously, it's a great rec for rom-com readers who love screwball humor and some action thrown in, but really just any of your patrons that are looking for a pure escapist fun. The Big Fix goes on sale on March 25th. Next slide. All right, Hazardous to a Duke's Heart by Sabrina Jeffries. This is Sabrina Jeffries' debut in trade paperback, which is really exciting because it's such a better format for you librarians. This is a classic Sabrina Jeffries tale, though. Don't let the format move trick you in that. It's a first in a new series called Lords of Hazard. And the premise of the series is, did you know that at the start of the Napoleonic War, like if you were a British man in France at the start of the war, even if you were a civilian, they threw you in jail and kept you in jail for the entire war? Well, I didn't know that, but I learned that by reading this book. So you always get some historical facts in there from Sabrina Jeffries. So the war's over, the hero has now been released, he's a duke, he's back in London, and he vows to help the daughter of his former mentor who perished while they were in captivity to find a husband because he feels like he needs to do something for her. So there's banter, it's cross-class romance, it's opposites attract. It's perfect for historical romance junkies and people killing time until Bridgerton season 4. Hazardous to Duke's Heart comes out on April 29th. Next slide.
So Summer on Cape May is by Essence bestselling author Monica Garner, standalone novel that takes place over the course of one summer in a charming, real-life little beach town on New Jersey's southern coast. It revolves around 3 friends who are all very different backgrounds, different races. One's Filipino, one's African-American, one's Portuguese, as they're planning the ultimate wedding. And, you know, of course, there's nothing that invites drama like planning the perfect wedding. So soon secrets surface that threaten their friendship, their happily ever afters, and a lot more. With this diverse cast with lots of wonderful real world summary locations like the Asbury Park Boardwalk in Atlantic City, with these endearingly relatable characters, meaningful female friendships, just the right amount of drama, and a really strong thread of romance. Summer on Cape May is perfect for book clubs and beach blankets alike. It's sure to be a big hit among fans of authors like Kimbala Lawson Roby, Rhonda McKnight, Brenda Jackson, and Susan Mallory. We've got some nice romance tropes in here. It's like women/relationship fiction, romance crossover, but some nice romance tropes: new beginnings, handsome stranger, summer wedding, second chances. Well, we've got really mild heat levels, so it's accessible to a broad range of readers and a perfect summer read. Next slide.
Okay, Manic Pixie Dream Earl. By far, hands down, my favorite title of the entire year. Like just the title. It's amazing. Okay, so this is from Jenny Holiday. It's the second in her Earlship series, which is about 3 Earls who basically like bromance each other and support each other emotionally. So think Diamond Dogs from Ted Lasso meets Bridgerton. And this is so fun because it's pure escapist popcorn historical romance. So definitely someone who wants a lighter historical romance. And what makes this is a friends to lovers story. But what makes this series really stand out is that this is a group of cinnamon roll Regency guys. This is the antithesis of the brooding rake historical hero trope. So this book is perfect for readers looking for a little something different for historical. Next slide. One Dark Kiss by Rebecca Zanetti is the second in her dark romantasy Grim Bargain series. Each book in the series is based on a fairy tale. This one is Snow White. It's Succession meets Black Mirror, where like these rich mafia-like families basically control all the tech like we use all day. So It's basically like tech punk alternate America. There's also a magical system in play here as well in the background with some people who have magical abilities and others don't. It's very spicy. It's enemies to lovers. It's alpha heroes. It's I'll burn down the world if you touch her. This is perfect to recommend to like Katie Robert readers, Scarlett St. Clair readers, Sarah J. Maas readers. Rebecca is a veteran author, and this new direction into romantasy is just spot on for her. One Dark Kiss is out on June 24th. Next slide. All the Roads Lead to Rome by Jamile Said Mendez. This is you might know her best from her YA and her children's books. Her book Furia was a Reese's Book Club pick for YA. This is set partly in Italy, so it's got an armchair travel kind of element. There's a sports star hero. There's a mutual marriage pact in this. It has diverse characters. It's perfect for library book clubs because it does have some weightier themes that are discussed, so you definitely want to talk. It's a talk about book. Give this to your Abby Jimenez, Meet Mia Sosa readers. This book comes out on June 24th. Next slide. Okay, The Second Sons trilogy by Emily Rath. You probably know Emily Rath from her spicy hockey romances, but these are her spicy Regency romances. These are Why Choose MMF romances. We picked these up from Emily from her earlier indie release, though we're releasing them in deluxe, gorgeous. I mean, you can look at that cover on Beautiful Things. It is a gorgeous package. We're doing the sprayed edges, the whole bells and whistles. We're releasing them close together. They'll have some bonus content in them as well. And these are just, Regency, Why Choose is not very, common. So this is definitely something you're going to want for your Why Choose readers. Next slide. And then, of course, we have hockey from Emily, of course. So this is her never before published fourth book in the Jacksonville Rays series. This is an MM romance. So this actually also has demisexual representation, which is not usual in a traditional published book. One of the hockey players fake marries one of their physical therapists, and so he can get custody of his niece in Sweden. So there's also an armchair travel estimate of this as well. Also very spicy. This comes out on August 26th. Next slide. And speaking of spicy, we have basically the next big thing for your Lila Sage fans. Chasing Wild by Elliot Rose. This is another indie we picked up from the indie world. We're doing this, the Bells and Whistles Deluxe Trade Editions. These are extremely spicy, interconnected standalones. Chasing the Wild, they're all age gap taboo kind of romances. So in Chasing the Wild, the heroine hooks up with her ex-boyfriend's dad, who's a sexy cowboy. They get snowed in, sparks fly on the ranch. It's really exciting. And again, spicy, so, 4.5 peppers. Next slide. The Beneath the Mask series by Luna Mason. This is a 4-book mafia dark romance series filled with morally gray characters with explosive chemistry. The heroes in the first 2 books are also professional boxers in addition to being mafia hitmen. So it's kind of a cool blend of sports romance and mafia romance. And together we are releasing these all in 2025, close together releases. This is for your H.D. Carlton fan, your Sophia Lark fan, your Rena Kent fan. And the first book comes out on February 25th. That's Distance. Next slide. House of Rain by Harley LaRue. This is a sapphic romance meets horror mystery as evil lurks on a remote island that is home to a B&B. Think Fall of the House of Usher meets steamy queer romance. This is for your readers of Gothicana, Anathema by Carrie Lake. This is basically our biggest release of fall 2025. This is going to be in a special edition hardcover. This is a brand new book from Harley. Readers are really going to want this book. It's just, I can't even, it's amazing. Next slide. The Hellbent series by Aurora Asher, though that was scary demons, and now this is funny demons. So this is a popcorn fun. This is the line between paranormal romance and romantasy. These demons have escaped hell. They just want to live their lives like normal people. The demon in the first book just wants to be a jazz musician. That kind of gives you the tone of these books. They're light, they're fun, they're popcorn reading. The first book came out last month. The second book, My Demon Hunter, comes out on March 25th. Next slide. And our last series, the Gods and Monsters series from Amber V. Nicole. We just announced that we acquired this series this week. So you're some of the first people to know this information. This is a dark romantic series, a true enemies to lovers, exquisite slow burn, extensive plotting. The heroine is the villain. It has diverse characters, not in terms of just race, but also sexuality spectrum. We will be releasing the as yet unpublished 4th book in the series, Wrath of the Gods, on October 28th. And next slide. The real icing on the cake is that we're also re-releasing these as collectible special edition hardcovers, starting with book one, The Book of Azrael, on November 25th. So this is for your Carissa Broadbent, your Callie Hart girlies, your Kaylee Smith girlies, and this is just going to be the series. This is on the tip of the tongue of all book talk right now, and then they're all going to want this edition. So your library is definitely going to want this edition. And as Larissa said, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or her, and we'll always get you the ARC that you need.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll turn it back over.
All right, that was terrific. So many books to think about. Thank you so much, Vita, Jane, and Larissa, for a great presentation. Thank you to everyone on today's wonderful Valentine's Day webinar. So much fun. On Tuesday, because Monday is a holiday for most of us, all attendees will receive an email containing links to today's video recording, the slide presentation, the title list, and a certificate of completion. For more about Booklist webinars, be sure to visit booklistonline.com/webinar. There you can view archives of past programs and register for upcoming ones like those that you see here. You can also find out about the latest webinars on our social channels. Please visit us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and now Blue Sky. And just a note, we are no longer on X, so please find us on these other channels for the latest Booklist news and updates. Stay in touch. Booklist is back with a new series, yes, of free readers advisory workshops. This was such a success last March. We're back on Wednesday, March 12th this year. Join us for 3 sessions led by library experts in the field, focusing on genre blending in adult and YA titles, nonfiction readers advisory, and hot tips for hand selling. All sessions will be recorded, and be sure to receive the recording and the other workshop resources. To be sure to get those, please sign up on our website. And we thank our sponsors for this. New year, new website. Hooray! Booklist is thrilled to share our newly designed website with an enhanced search engine, new recommendation resources, special content for ALA members. Check that out, and so much more. Head over to booklistonline.com and start exploring. And speaking of new content for our invaluable members of ALA, we are thrilled to announce that the digital version of Booklist Reader, the monthly Reader's Advisory magazine from the editors of Booklist for your library patrons, is now an ALA member benefit. Head over to our new site to start reading. And if you're not already a Booklist subscriber, you just use your ALA membership ID to sign in. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. A huge thank you to our sparkling panelists from Disney Publishing, Alcove Press, Wattpad WEBTOON Book Group, and Kensington Publishing. And we thank our sponsor, Penguin Random House Library Marketing. Happy Valentine's, everyone. Have a great weekend. This concludes today's webinar. We'll see you next time.